song you're hearing is Hey Joe. I'm back today with another video. This is Randy. Today I'm going to do episode number 2, and how'd that go? And today I'm going to do a rock and roll song. So How'd That Go is a series that I've just started. This is my second episode. Focusing on songs that were recorded by multiple artists. So today it's going to be Hey Joe. So right now we are hearing a version of this song that was recorded by The Hazards in late 1965, I think, or 1966, and yeah, we'll be getting to that a little bit later. But yeah, Hey Joe is the song that we're focused on today. That is a song that was probably made most, I'm sure it was made most famous by Jimi Hendrix on his first album, Are You Experienced? Well, it wasn't on the British version of Are You Experienced, but it was on the American version. And it was a hit single in England. This is a song that is, I was thinking it was maybe like a traditional song or something like that wasn't really necessarily attributed to one person. But there is one person named Billy Roberts who copyrighted the song in 1962, so some records attribute it to him. But I was looking at some stuff about this song in Wikipedia, and they tell me that there were several songs throughout the later part of the 20th century that sort of had the same idea of a guy going out to shoot his old lady. And there was one recorded in 1953. It was a country song. It was written by Boudleaux Bryant. Boudleaux Bryant, who was a well-known songwriter. I think Love Hurts might be one of his best-known songs. There was another version that was copyrighted in 1962. It was recorded in 1962 by a woman named Niella Horn Miller. Her song was called Baby Don't Go to Town, which I haven't heard, but evidently it was pretty much the same concept of the guy. But, what I read is this guy, Billy Roberts, had actually heard her version too. But, well, either way, I guess he was the one who copyrighted it first, and so he got a lot of the credit for it. Then in 1965, Dino Valenti copyrighted it too, and there seems to be some dispute over that. Dino Valenti, I think, is best known for writing Get Together, which was a big hit song for the Youngbloods, and Jefferson Airplane recorded it. One of the sources I read said that Billy Roberts gave him half of that songwriting credit to help him provide some income for him when he got out of jail in 1965. So some sources that credit it to Dino Valenti. Some of them also credit it to Chester Powers, or Chet Powers, which is Dino Valenti. He went by 2 different names. He was best known for being a member of Quicksilver Messenger Service. So yeah, but the first one that I could find any record of its being recorded is I have it on this compilation album, and the band is The Leaves. The Leaves. So this is the Nuggets compilation album, and well, in here it tells about all the bands that recorded it and stuff like that. This is like a 2017 reissue of this Nuggets compilation. So yeah, The Leaves did that version. On their version, the beginning part of it sounds really cool. It sounds a lot like the song Needles and Pins, which the Ramones covered. They recorded it for the first time in December of '65, but then they recorded it 2 more times. The last time was in May of '65, and that version of it was released as a single and is actually the only version that ever reached the top 40 in the United States. It got up to number 31. The Hendrix version, I guess maybe it wasn't released in the United States, or I'm not really sure exactly what happened with that. But yeah, The Leaves are the only one who had a top 40 hit with it in the U.S. They credited the song to Chester Powers. Um, the next version that I think the next one released was by Love, the band Love, and let's see. Oh yeah, this is just that Nuggets record here on Elektra Records. This is a Rhino reissued. Love recorded this song on their very first album. It is the third song on side 2, and we're probably going to hear a little bit of that here in just a few minutes. This is also a Rhino reissue from 2017 of this album. Fantastic album. Good picture of the band there on the back. I guess an interesting thing about this is that this is one of the 2 songs on the album that Arthur Lee did not sing. This song was sung by Brian McLean. This guy here is what he sang. He sang another song on here too. So yeah, in Love's version, to me, it sounds great too. They started out saying, "Where you going with that money in your hand?" So I don't know why they would have sang like that. And I wasn't really understanding the words well enough to see if they changed the rest of the song a whole lot. But anyway, Love released that album in March of 1966. They also credited the song to Dino Valenti. Their version of the song is heavily bass-driven. The bass really carries a lot of that song, so that one sounds really good. The next band, here's the inner sleeve that came with that cool Elektra inner sleeve. The next band that I have recording it is The Byrds on their Fifth Dimension album. It's the second song on side 2, right after 8 Miles High. They call it Hey Joe, Where You Gonna Go? And they credit it to Chet Powers. They released this album in July of 1966. This is a version that David Crosby sings it on here. This is probably my least favorite version of the song. Yeah, still sounds good. It's a cool song, but yeah, out of all these, it's probably my least favorite. Here's another Rhino reissue, I think from, I'm not sure what year this came out, maybe 2014 or 15, somewhere in there. Yes, that's the Byrds in July of 66. In December of 66, Jimi Hendrix finally released his, I think in England. Then, like I say, it wasn't on his first album in England, but in the United States, Are You Experienced? It was put on there. I don't have Are You Experienced? But I do have Smash Hits. It's on here. This is the version that I think everybody's probably familiar with. Fantastic. Well, like anything but Jimi Hendrix, fantastic version. This has this cool inner sleeve with the Lost Leader stuff on it. Yeah. So, that was Jimi Hendrix in December of 66. Yeah, the Hazards. Yeah, late 66 for them was when this came out. So, yeah, I already told you about this. This was a band from Virginia in the United States. So, don't have a whole lot of songs. On here, the song is credited to Billy Roberts. But I was looking online at Discogs, and they show a picture of the 45 single, and on there, they credit it to Dino Valenti. So I guess when they were doing this reissue, this highs in the mid-60s, I don't know, maybe for legal purposes or whatever, they went back to the original writer, Billy Roberts. But yeah, like I say, the single, they credit it to Dino Valenti. Yeah, so the Hazards. Yeah, that was a great version of the song. Let's. I'm going to start this Love version here. This is the. It's the third song on here, so I'm going to try and hit it. Should be coming up in just a second here, so we'll hear the Love version here in just a minute. So, yeah, the Hazards were the band that we most recently got to. So late '66, a British band called The Creation recorded this song in 1967. I didn't really, kind of hard to figure out exactly what month they recorded this. This is a compilation album by The Creation. How Does It Feel to Feel is the name of the album. So yeah, this is a compilation of some of their singles and from the records. But Hey Joe was on their first album, which was called We Are Painter Men. And, yeah, they do a very cool sounding version of it. I would say it's a pretty straightforward version. The guy sort of sounds like he's talking instead of singing throughout the whole song, and then there's an interlude in the middle of it where he really is talking, and he's talking to Joe, and talks about he saw his old lady today. He saw Joe's old lady today, so I mean I think it's kind of implying that the singer is the guy who was fooling around with Joe's wife. I guess the whole thing's kind of open to interpretation, though. So this is on Get Back Records, Italian reissue label. The very last version of this song that I have is was recorded in 1968 by Deep Purple. It was recorded in May of '68 and released in July of '68 on their very first album, Shades of Deep Purple. This is actually a VCLT I received from Vinyl Ridge, so thanks very much for that. It is the very last song on this album, and yeah, it's the first version of Deep Purple with Rod Evans doing the lead vocal. Interestingly, they credit this song to Blackmore. They credit it to, Deep Purple, yeah, Blackmore, Evans, Lord, the whole band. So, yeah, they took credit for this song in 1968, even though it had already been recorded by at least 6 other bands. So, I'm not sure exactly how that worked out, but they do a really cool version of it. It's about 7 or 8 minutes long, and I guess here, as expected, here's a little bit of the live version. Jane guitar there. Yeah, so a little bit of the love version there. And yeah, so Deep Purple is the last one I have from Shades of Deep Purple. Yeah. So so that's it. Yeah. How'd that song go? It went like those versions that you just heard. So that's it for this episode of How'd That Go? Hey Joe is the song. 7 versions of it here. There's quite a few other versions of it I've seen in Discogs. So yeah, I'd be interested to know if anybody has any of these other versions of it, and what you think about those, or which is your favorite version of it. And yeah, that's it. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day.